or people that don't do this, you know, you're grown ups, you can do what you want, but twisting is extremely important, and it's something most people don't do. And it's usually just laziness. You want to get through with as little as possible. But our spine needs to twist. I lock my hips. I don't, like I said, I don't come through and then start bending the hips and just trying to turn around. A lot of people just think turn around as far as possible. It's not the way you do it. I actually squeeze the butt cheeks, lock the hamstrings. I have my upright posture. They call it like thoracic extension, external rotation, turning the arms out like this. And my abs are not tight. They're just very lightly controlled. And I twist and keep my hips in place. And I'll even come back, do that about, there was like 3 times. And every time I come back and forth, try to remember to keep those hips straight and bring that upper body as far as possible while keeping perfectly aligned, straight up and down. And you'll start to feel it. You'll start to feel it down your IT band, your hamstrings. You start to feel it in your upper back from holding the bar. You'll even feel it at the very bottom of the spine where it connects to the pelvic bone. You feel your abductors. That's a good warm-up one. And I'll just jump up one band size and go till failure. This band, it's just the smaller of the 2 gray ones. That one, I mean, I can get a workout out of it. I can work it to failure and be burning like crazy, but I'll get just so many reps, it's ridiculous. So I'll go up to the larger gray one, or the black Paraforce band, and see if I can get like 20 reps and call that one good for that. Mobility work. So many people bypass mobility work that I have to tell you, I've had very few clients that were over the age of 30 that I didn't have to deal with some bullshit body issues, so we weren't able to just take off and make gains. If they're in their 20s, it's one thing. You can keep them from making mistakes and go with it. But once guys have beat the shit out of themselves enough and they want to just go from 0 to 30, I want to look like this next year, and then you got 6 months of rehab and something to mix in there, and then they lose interest. Now that's on them. You got to take care of yourself the whole time. Even if you weren't working out all those years, you could have been stretching for, for at least stretching. I mean, I can't imagine what it would feel like to not work out and then just sit in a chair all day and sit in a car all day and a couch all day, and your whole body would just go into rigor mortis, you know. And then um, a lot of guys have injuries they haven't addressed since high school football, and these are things that should be ironed out before we want to go blowing on a bunch of muscle, because it's just going to hinder us. I tried working around it when I was younger, and um, that's how my left and right hip ended up getting so bad. And then, my neck and my spine. And then there was some accidents and stuff in there, but for the most part, it was not having the patience to stop and fix the issue, just try to get around it. And the few times they did stop and fix the issue, it was a way better idea. But now I've spent the last 3 years fixing issues, and I'm just now getting to the point where um, the issues are, I'm seeing some light at the end of the tunnel, and um, maybe in another year, have my physique back. But it's taken me, I was thinking it was going to be 6 months, a year. It's taken me a good 3 years, and it's been really bad, like extremely bad. Um, Hospitalized, like bedridden, to the hospital, painkillers, assisted stretching, decompression, people yanking on my neck all the time, hanging, um, massive amounts of mobility work, seeing specialists that are $300-400 an hour. You know, um, it's just, and the the response of it is the damage was so deep that I literally had to peel back the layers and go to where I was like, I'm ironing out stuff that I did when I was 19 years old. And then I realized I hurt it, and then all I did was built scar tissue around it and kept going. And I kept doing that all over the place. And then once you get to that area and that's what's holding you up, you have to rip it apart. And that scar tissue was the only thing, that scar tissue, once it finally breaks apart, it's a big open wound, and you have to use it. And there's a lot of like free radicals and stuff in there that, go into your system, and uh, you get sick, it hurts like hell. Um, it actually hurts worse than when you originally did it, because the nerves haven't felt anything in so long, and then you rip it back open, and then you have to keep using it in the proper way so it doesn't freeze back up and stick back together. And I'd really, really recommend people get their shit together and make sure you have full mobility on everything, because yeah, I'll show you this stuff, when I'm coaching you. I'll get you through it, and we'll build as much as we can. But I way, way would rather just go balls to the walls and make some fantastic gains than um, be milking out extremely overly tight hips and uh, muscle imbalances and bad shoulders, and my hips are off to one side, and everything. Okay, so More important, one of the more important things out there is mobility. As you can, if anybody remembers any of the big bodybuilders, it's no coincidence that the top ones like Flex Wheeler and Ronnie Coleman could do the splits on stage. You don't get that big without being able to have some mobility. Eventually, you'll just seize up. So, I will talk to you soon. Bye.